Hello and welcome to another episode of Sus Faction.
Today is an Estella-centric episode, and I'm Kyle,
And I'm Isella.
and we're your hosts.
We'll get it together eventually.
Yeah.
We had some technical difficulties at the start of the show. Yeah, it's been crazy here.
Yeah.
So I work part-time at that restaurant.
Yeah.
We closed on Sunday. And then we haven't had school Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So I'm literally going crazy because I haven't been to work in 4 days. And I'm just like stir crazy, full of energy. I'm going to try not to talk too fast as I'm telling this story because let me tell you, when I did the research for this, I blew my own mind. My mind was blown, like exploding out of my ears, all of this information. So it sounds kooky at times, but also not entirely unbelievable.
Okay.
We are talking about Project Looking Glass today. Have you heard of Project Looking Glass?
Heard of. I mean, it sounds familiar, but I don't know what it is.
Okay. I first just heard the term in passing and I Googled it. So the first thing I got from Google AI was Project Looking Glass.
This is going to be loud.
Refers to
Okay.
several concepts, most famously a rumored U.S. military project involving viewing future timelines.
Oh, wow.
The military concept involves alleged time viewing technology, while there's a software that enables running virtual machines on a host operating system, and the Canadian project uses AI for policy analysis. So the rumored military project is a supposed classified military operation using advanced technology like argon gas and quartz crystals to see potential future timelines, potentially linked to the Mandela effect.
Oh.
Yeah. The purpose of it was to view and potentially alter future outcomes, but they allegedly shut down as timelines converged around 2012 to 2016, making futures predictable or chaotic. So they couldn't see into the future in that after that point. So like between 2012 and 2016, they were unable to predict anything.
Right. Okay.
Anything past that time frame. So they had to end the project because they couldn't.
Well, there's a conspiracy that the world ended in 2012 and we're just living in like a borrowed timeline. So
that's exactly it. That's one of the things I'm going to talk about.
Oh, okay.
All right. So some technology that has come from this is a software actually called Looking Glass. It's an open source application that allows kernel-based virtual machine to pass through or high performance graphics in virtualized environments, enabling gaming or demanding apps without dual booting. I don't know what any of that means, but just to throw it out there in case someone's a techie and they're listening. Mm-hmm. Yes, it also refers to this technology. There was, and this is still from Google AI. This is the last piece of that. So a government-backed initiative developing an AI platform to model and predict impacts of policies like public health or climate initiatives across different Canadian regions, led by Digital Supercluster. So the Canadians had a little bit to do with the tech involved in Project Looking Glass, and apparently tech that we know of by the same name. All right. So today's research is being brought to you from 3 essential whistleblowers that have worked for or near this project at some point or another. Their names are Dan Burrish, Bob Lazar, and Bill Wood. Does anyone remember Bob Lazar?
I don't. I do not.
We talked about Bob in our Area 51 whistleblower.
Oh, did we?
He was our Area 51 whistleblower. So
Okay.
he worked there, even though the government denies he worked there. So that's who Bob Lazar is. I'll talk more about Bill Wood and Dan Burish as I go into their specific information that they've shared with the public. So, first one I'm going to talk about is from Bill Wood. A lot of his information was used to talk about Project Looking Glass from a specific perspective. One thing that is important to know is that when you have a top secret project like this, there are only bits and pieces that are shared with specific groups working on it at a time. Depending on your level of clearance, and even at the top, they're only given a certain amount of the information, because they don't want everyone to know every piece of what's going on in case you have whistleblowers.
Correct.
So sometimes the information conflicts slightly with itself, and sometimes it is pieced together by those who are experiencing it, and assumptions are being made in some places where they don't have full access to the information. So let's start. All right, the first one comes to us from a video called Project Looking Glass and the Mandela Effect. It says how does it tie to the Mandela Effect? People, millions of people remember events that never happened. So how did this begin? In 1999, everything sort of flatlined. That's how they're describing it. Music, fashion, it started to recycle itself. If you think about it, the 60s was very defined by its music and fashion. The 70s had its own music and fashion. The 80s had its very own music and fashion. 90s, same. You get to the early aughts and styles start repeating themselves.
Right.
So they're describing it as being in some sort of time loop where everything looks the same, sounds the same, and there's nothing really revolutionary happening, which I can agree with all
Right.
of that.
It sounds like that thing zoocosis that people are talking about.
Zoocosis?
Yeah, where like everybody's feeling like they're like I don't know how to describe it. It's like everybody feels like they're in the Truman Show.
Okay, yeah, kind of like that. Most of us remember Y2K and the global concern about the switch to the year 2000. Dates on tech were recorded as 2-digit months, 2-digit days, and 2-digit years, not 4-digit years. And it was fear that the switch over to 00 would reset everything back to 1900. So billions of dollars were spent all over the world correcting this issue, and people braced as we tumbled into the 2000s. But nothing happened. Instead, it was more of a global psychological reset.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, we're noticing that we have memories that don't match reality, such as the Berenstain Bears.
Don't get me started.
No, I have to, because when I was putting it into my notes for this, I said Berenstain, and it typed it out Berenstain, Stein, and then changed in front of me.
Shut up.
Swear. I was like, that's so spooky.
Oh my gosh.
Because I was talked to texting it. I said Berenstain and it spelled it Stein and then changed to Ain.
There's a video of a guy holding a book where it does that. Like he moves from one room to the other and it'll change. Like the writing on the book will literally change before your eyes.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy. I believe it. It happened in my phone, but like still, why didn't it just automatically spell it Stein?
If that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, because I was talked to texting it. It could have spelled it however it wanted. So creepy. So creepy.
That's crazy.
This is known as the Mandela Effect.
Yep.
It's suggested that this could be considered a phantom memory, that we are all now living on a new frequency. Bill Wood, the former Navy SEAL he worked on Project Looking Glass, which was based out of Area 51.
Of course it was.
He says, 12/21/2012, according to Project Looking Glass, all of the choices we make are less consequential. Between the years of 2012 and 2016, we've reached some sort of bottleneck, and basic history outcomes are all the same, no matter what variables they changed between 2012 and 2016. All future timelines converged on a fixed point. Everything continued to be the same, recycling itself, history sort of spinning in place.
I agree.
That's how it feels, definitely.
Yeah.
So you'll be able to take note that in 2012, that's when the occurrences of fake news seemed to have spiked. And there was a rise of algorithmic feeds shaping what billions of people see each day. Human behavior became so predictable that machines could simulate us entirely. So after 2012, they could not see or read the future any longer, and they discontinued the program. In 1999, the Matrix movie was released, and a lot of these themes seem to be present in the film. Many people believe it to be more of a documentary. What Project Looking Glass taught us or discovered is that the future is already written. There is proof that the CIA did a lot of exploring of consciousness being something that can move through time. So your consciousness can move through time, but not your body. That's how they used time travel. They were able to send their minds into the future. Outside of the physical world, and they used remote viewing as a form of doing this. So, what's remote viewing? Have you seen Stranger Things?
Yeah.
Okay. So when Elle is in the tank and she sends her mind to go look for
Right.
Russians and spy on anyone, really, that's remote viewing. She's
Yeah.
viewing them remotely, literally.
It's almost like astral protection.
Sort of, but more psychic.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So some declassified documents refer to Project Stargate, where remote viewers were used to spy on Russia during the Cold War. And it was during this time that remote viewers discovered a Russian submarine months before the Russian submarine was revealed to the world. A lot of people say that they experienced time as looping and that it's being managed. What they discovered during Project Looking Glass is that the idea that humanity would shift into a new kind of experience, one that wasn't fully physical.
Have you seen the movie Lucy?
No.
Oh.
But I feel like that's exactly how our world is.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of VR, there's a lot of social media, everything's on platforms. People don't really go places. You get food delivered to your house, you get your groceries delivered to your house.
Yeah.
You talk to people online, you listen to people talking in your ear and podcasts, people read you books. Everything is digital. Our experiences are not very physical anymore. We're not out in the world doing things as much.
I mentioned Lucy because she uses the character in the movie. She ends up using 100% of her brain capacity, and she evolves from a physical being to a completely just particles, basically.
Oh.
And it's really interesting. You'll have to watch it. It's way intricate, but she was everywhere and everything, and she knew everything. It was crazy.
Oh.
It was really cool.
So two physicists, one named Gerald Tehuft and Leonard Susskind, have said that they believe in a simulation that began at the end of the Mayan calendar.
Mm-hmm.
Having been in 2012, there was some sort of realignment, and this is what is considered a holographic universe theory. That's what they call it, the physicists. So,
Gotcha.
a lot of it has to do with the Higgs boson or the God particle, a quantum collapse. And so then it's where are we now? Basically, another scientist, I can't pronounce his name, I was going to try, but I'm not going to try it, talked about Earth's vibrations and how before 2012, the Earth was kind of vibrating at a constant 7 point something. And now it is at a higher frequency, as well as random spikes of 30 plus the vibrations.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. CERN,
CERN.
CERN, documented in 2016 anomalies that that's all of the information that the first source gave. So everything from Bill Wood I just presented to you. Remember, I said there may be some discrepancies between different whistleblowers because they don't have the full knowledge of the entire project.
Right.
So there was a little bit of talking about how people seem to feel something being off, like with time. They feel it moving faster. But that social media kind of keeps your brain in a loop. The same emotions, the same information, and that's how we're losing time, is more
Right.
just like because we're not out experiencing things. So that was the first source, everything that I'd heard from that one. All right. So in the first one, if the first one didn't blow your mind, although there was a lot in there, or it left you with more questions, maybe this next one will help fill in some of those holes. This next one, most of the information comes to us from Dan Borish. He worked in Area 51 and supposedly on level 4. So, in 1948, the National Museum of Iraq had a box, and in this metal box contained were 2 ancient Sumerian seals, metal cylinders, and these cylinders had really caught the Americans' attention. In America, America decided to purchase these Sumerian seals with a large box of money. We don't know how much money was in it. We just know there was a large box of money. Later, it was discovered that these seals were even older than Sumeria, and that they were given to Majestic 12, which Majestic 12 or MJ12 is it's a group inside of Area 51.
Okay.
So they operate within Area 51. Okay. Level 4 of Area 51 is nicknamed Alice's Floor. Alice as in Alice in Wonderland. This is where Project Looking Glass took place.
Makes sense.
Dan said as he was walking through, there were different hangars, and in one hangar, there was a P-45 UFO. In another hangar was a P-52 flying saucer. I'll get into what the numbers mean in a minute. Flying saucer type aircraft. And there was another hangar that contained a triangular, flat, black aircraft. And I say that shaking because I've seen one before. Like, that's, if I could say, I thought I saw a UFO, that's the one that I've seen.
Yeah.
It was hovering, well, you know where the bridge is by the, over by the high school, that road, the bridge that goes over the river. It was hovering over the river, but like over that bridge.
Oh.
Yeah. It freaked me out. I was like, is that, because it's black and it was nighttime. And I was like, is that a, yep. And then I saw like 2 green lights as it like left.
Oh my God.
It was really creepy. And I told my husband about it, and he was just like, okay. I'm like, it creeped me out. Like, it was weird.
Yeah, no, it would creep me out too. And it's because, I mean, I fully believe that we're a planet that's been visited. So.
Yeah. All right. Finally, in the 4th hangar, he came across the Project Looking Glass vehicle or machine. Not sure which to call it, but I did post a schematic of it. So you can see that in the reel that I had posted on our Instagram. Supposedly, Project Looking Glass was used in both the Philadelphia project, which failed, which I didn't look more into, and the Montauk project, which is what Stranger Things was inspired by. Um, if you're not familiar with the Montauk project, you probably haven't watched Stranger Things, because Stranger Things was heavily influenced by the Montauk project, so much so that they almost called the show Montauk instead of Stranger Things. In the project, they used remote viewing, and it was used um, through this project Looking Glass machine. So they used the Looking Glass machine in the Montauk project. The remote viewing was used to look ahead. Certain persons with abilities were able to control the machine better than others, and then adding more seals to the machine. So remember the Sumerian seals I mentioned
Mm-hmm.
before. They use those to power the machine. It added capabilities to the machine. And they always had to find a way to get more seals, and they got them from Iraq, which is modern day Sumeria, in any way that they could. So there were suggestions that some of our military actions, some of the wars and military actions that we have taken in the Middle East in the 90s, have been to collect the seals to power the machine. And when an operator was in the machine, they could see places here and in the future remotely. So they could travel like anywhere in their mind, anywhere in the world,
Yeah,
but it wasn't limited to our timeline. They could move through time as well
that's wild.
with their mind.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yep. Just like how uh Elle can travel and see the Russians, and they show her being used to do so. Psychics were used or abducted in some cases, and then used
Oh,
to power the machine to predict political outcomes. So they would sort of input certain feelings or ideas into the machine, such as declaring war with certain countries, to look and see what the outcome would be, or enacting certain policies to see what the political outcomes would be. All right. If you'll remember at the beginning, I mentioned that Project Looking Glass was used to, it was the term also used to refer to some computer programs. There were computer programs created to help sort or streamline this process for political outcomes. So instead of like the psychic going in and just like declaring war in their mind, they were able to like input the data into a computer and simulate it that way as well.
oh
Like
wow.
they learned how to do that. The problem arose when no one could see past 12/21/2012, the end of the Mayan calendar. Um, so this brings me to a little bit of information that we had shared in our aliens episode in 1953. Okay, the Kingman UFO incident, where there was a UFO crash, the bodies were taken to Area 51. Among those bodies was a survivor, a P-52, which I guess P-52 stands for person plus 52,000 years.
Oh wow.
They're from the future.
Yeah.
The survivor, the P-52, that they spoke to said that they were from the Gliese system, originally from Zeta Reticuli. If you remember Betty and Barney Hill, the Zeta Reticuli is where their aliens said that they were from.
Oh wow.
So this is why it's like mind
Yeah.
my mind is blown. So the MJ12 or they said that the 2012 apocalypse was engineered to happen by future humans. And in the apocalypse, a geophysical pull shift occurred, causing seismic waves that caused the Earth's crust to shift, causing earthquakes, tsunamis, landslides, sinkholes. Mountains were crumbling, and volcanoes that were considered dormant erupting. All the ash and smoke from the volcanoes erupting caused large enough black clouds that covered the Earth's sun and prevented sunshine and sunlight from getting to living things on Earth, causing the food chain to be disrupted. Any human survivors went underground. Those people are called P45s, or persons plus 45,000 years. And the way they look, like grays.
Oh, wow.
Because of being underground, their eyes grew larger to accommodate being, less light.
Right.
And their skin turned gray from lack of sunlight. Their bodies needed to be smaller to accommodate for living underground. So they're about 4 foot-ish. And their brains never stopped growing because they developed telekinesis.
Wow.
I know, it's a lot of information.
Oh my God.
So they develop telepathic communication, but they're cold and show no empathy. And that is why a lot of alien encounters, when people talk about how they have experienced the Greys, they describe them as cold and very scientific. What they're trying to do is merge human DNA from now with their DNA to make some type of hybrid, because the 45s are the survivors of the apocalypse that never happened.
Wow.
I'm
speechless.
I
said I'm speechless.
I know. So the apocalypse never happened, and they still need it to happen so that they can come into existence. So this part is so hard for me to share because I'm not sure how I feel about it, but I'm going to say it anyway. Okay. I'm not sure how I feel about it. People around me have shared their opinion on this, but I still don't. I don't know what mine is. So, all right. So they still need the apocalypse to happen so that they can come into existence. They are working with a group of humans referred to as the Illuminati. All I got from you was an eyebrow raise. I know. So the Illuminati are working with the P45s to try and make this apocalypse happen. We learned from our P52 friend that there is another timeline split coming in 2030. I'm like, that's 4 years. We have 2 timelines to choose from. The first timeline is one of peace. Peace, where humans develop telepathy and we receive the answers to our questions about JFK and 9/11. The second timeline is the one preferred by the P45 and Illuminati. It involves a large nuclear disaster, and the survivors will be enslaved to the Illuminati and their friends.
I don't like that one.
The third whistleblower whose information was used for this research was Bob Lazar, who I mentioned before in the Area 51 episode. Okay. I'm going to say something really quick, and then I'm going to ask what you think. So in 2030, like I said, that's only 4 years away. The split with the split that they're discussing, we have 2 options: peace or disaster. And unfortunately, to me, doesn't look like our world is headed towards peace. If we only have 4 years to get it together.
I feel like in 3 years we have a lot of pieces to pick up from a dictator ruling our country. So that's just my opinion. I don't speak for Acela, but like I think in 3 years, once we have all this mess to clean up, if we have 1 year to do so, it's a matter of people, and I have faith in people.
Yeah. I just feel like our government's trying to get Greenland.
Yeah.
Because Greenland is where we have underground missile silos. So.
Yeah. So I'm thinking ahead. I'm trying not to. I'm trying to believe that all the stuff that our government's attempting will not happen. Like that's how I'm thinking. Like I just don't see it happening because Greenland and Denmark, is it?
Yeah, Denmark owns them.
Yeah, I just think Denmark has their own allies to. I don't think we'll get Greenland even if we fight for it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, I mean, so remembering that this information comes to us from 3 whistleblowers and that their stories have been discounted by the CIA as being the ramblings of crazy men. 3 of them say that they have worked for Area 51, and 2 of them deny even knowing each other. There are always discrepancies in stories where all the pieces were not learned by the individual. Hearing the story, as I mentioned in the beginning, with top secret information, even those working on these projects don't have all the facts. However much you want to believe these projects existed or what they were used for is up to you. So that's it. That's it for Project Looking Glass. I know it's a doozy.
It is.
It is a doozy. I had a headache.
Yeah.
after doing that one and all the research, I was just like, that's a lot for my brain right now.
That is a lot. I can't believe you went in such a deep dive.
Well, I needed to know. Like, what is this? What are you talking about?
Right.
I didn't cover Montauk Project because I feel like you can just go watch Stranger Things if you really want to know. I covered bits and pieces of it to where it was, because it was tied to Project Looking Glass. Apparently so was the Philadelphia Project. I didn't look into that one. Or Philadelphia Experiment, I think is what it's called. I didn't look into that one. But they also did some stuff with psychic peoples and apparently also used Project Looking Glass in that one, but that experiment failed.
Yeah.
There are several of these top secret government programs and initiatives that have gone on, not only in our country but in others, and I'm going to cover one later, maybe in a couple months, maybe in March about one that happened in China, run by the Japanese government.
Oh, okay.
So
and that was that.
So it's not just our government doing crazy stuff, I promise.
Oh, of course not. Well, that's it for today. If you have your own stories, or do we have an outro?
We do, but I forgot what it was. I just remember the please come back for another episode.
Oh yeah.
We post every Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and remember, trust no one, question everything.
And if you want to reach us and send us your own stories, you can reach us at susfactionpod@outlook.com. If you want to send us your own stories, you can reach us at susfactionpod@outlook.com. And we also have an Instagram.
Yes, our Instagram is at susfactionpod. You can find us there. You can find the links to the show. We are on Amazon Music, YouTube, and Spotify. And if you are interested in our paid subscription, that we are actually recording that episode right after this one.
Yep.
And that's going to be through Patreon. I went ahead and posted the link on our Marilyn Monroe episode, but I will post it again on this one at the bottom in the show notes. All of our Patreon episodes or all of our Patreon subscribers will receive early and ad-free episodes, always ad-free. Exclusive content, meaning they're extra. They get the true crime. The historical true crime is one thing that is specific to our Patreons, as well as early merch announcements.
Yes. So I'm looking forward to all that.
All
All
right.
right. Well, thank you so much.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.